You ever notice how some prayers get answered instantly, and others feel like they disappear into silence? You pray, you trust, you wait. Days turn into months. Months turn into years. And eventually you start asking the question nobody wants to admit out loud. God, why are you making me wait? But what if the delay isn't punishment? What if the waiting season is actually the proof that something bigger is happening behind the scenes? Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand the hidden reason God makes you wait, and it might completely change the way you see your life right now. And there's one specific truth near the end that most people never realize until it's too late. Why waiting feels so painful. Here's the hard truth. Waiting attacks your emotions more than your circumstances, because uncertainty is exhausting. If someone told you exactly when your breakthrough was coming, you could survive the wait. But the silence, the not knowing, that's what drains people spiritually. And this is where most people make a mistake. They assume God's silence means God's absence. But silence and absence are not the same thing. Think about a seed planted underground. For weeks, nothing visible happens. No growth, no evidence, no sign of life. But underground, everything is changing. Roots are forming. Strength is developing. The seed is preparing for the pressure above the surface. And spiritually, that's exactly what happens during seasons of waiting on God. God's timing is different from yours. One of the biggest lessons people struggle with is understanding God's timing. We live in a world built around instant results. Fast food, same-day delivery, instant notifications. We've trained ourselves to believe speed equals success. But God rarely works on human timelines. Because God is not obsessed with speed. He's obsessed with preparation. Now this next part might surprise you. Sometimes the thing you're asking for is already prepared, but you're not prepared for it yet. That relationship, that opportunity, that blessing, that breakthrough. Imagine giving a teenager the keys to a race car before they know how to drive. The gift becomes dangerous because the person isn't ready. And many times, God delays blessings not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to protect you. That's the hidden part most people never see. What God is doing while you wait. Here's the question that changes everything. What if waiting is not wasted time? What if God is actively working during the delay? Because spiritually, waiting seasons are construction seasons. God works on your character before your comfort, your strength before your success, your heart before your harvest. And this is why trusting God during waiting becomes so important. Anyone can have faith when everything is working out. Real faith begins when nothing makes sense. Think about athletes training for a championship. Most of the work happens in empty gyms. No crowd, no applause, no spotlight, just repetition, discipline, preparation. The victory everyone celebrates later was built in private. And spiritually, God often develops people in hidden seasons before revealing them publicly. The dangerous thing about instant blessings, but here's where things get interesting. Not every blessing received too early is actually a blessing. Some people pray for success before they have wisdom. They pray for influence before they have discipline. They pray for relationships before they've healed emotionally. And when those blessings arrive too soon, they collapse under the weight of them. That's why the Bible repeatedly talks about patience and faith together. Because patience is proof that your faith can survive uncertainty. And this is one of the deepest spiritual truths about waiting on God. Delay is often preparation in disguise. You think God is ignoring you. Meanwhile, God is strengthening you. You think nothing is happening. Meanwhile, your future is being built piece by piece. Why unanswered prayers can strengthen faith. Now, let's talk about something people avoid. Unanswered prayers. Because everybody loves stories about instant miracles. But almost nobody talks about the emotional battle of waiting. And honestly, that's where faith during hard times becomes real. Sometimes God answers quickly. Sometimes God says no. And sometimes God says, not yet. That not yet season is where people either grow spiritually or give up completely. Because waiting exposes what you truly believe. Do you trust God only when life feels good? Or do you trust God even when the outcome is unclear? And this is why some of the strongest people spiritually are people who survived long seasons of uncertainty. They learned how to trust God without visible evidence. That changes a person forever. The story you're telling yourself matters. Here's something powerful most people overlook. The waiting itself is hard, but the story you attach to the waiting makes it harder. For example, one person says, God forgot me. Another person says, God is preparing me. Same delay, completely different mindset. And mindset matters spiritually. Because if you believe your waiting season is meaningless, you'll become bitter. But if you believe God's purpose in delays is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared, you endure differently. You stop seeing waiting as punishment and start seeing it as transformation. That perspective shift changes everything. Signs God is preparing you now. This next part might surprise you. Sometimes the clearest sign God is preparing you is discomfort, because growth rarely feels comfortable. Think about it. Muscles grow through resistance. Diamonds form under pressure. And spiritually, faith grows through waiting. Many people ask, why does God make you wait so long? But maybe the better question is, what is God building inside me during the wait? Maybe He's teaching patience. Maybe He's removing pride. Maybe He's developing emotional maturity. Maybe He's preparing you for responsibilities you can't even see yet. And one day, you may realize the waiting season was actually the season that saved you. Why comparison makes waiting worse? One of the fastest ways to lose peace during waiting seasons is comparison. You see other people succeeding, getting married, building careers, living the life you prayed for. And secretly, you wonder, why them and not me? But comparison blinds you to timing. Because you're comparing your behind-the-scenes season to someone else's highlight reel. And this is where trusting God becomes critical. Because not every blessing arrives at the same time. Fruit grows differently depending on the season. Some things grow fast and die fast. Other things grow slowly and last for decades. And spiritually, depth often takes time. The strongest foundations are built slowly. The hidden reason God makes you wait, so here it is. The hidden reason God makes you wait is because God cares more about who you're becoming than what you're receiving. That's the truth most people miss. You're focused on the destination. God is focused on transformation. Because the person you become during the waiting may be more valuable than the thing you're waiting for. Let that sink in. The patience, the endurance, the wisdom, the emotional strength, the deeper faith, those things stay with you forever. And this is why some people look back years later and finally understand. If God had answered my prayer earlier, I wouldn't have been ready. That realization changes everything. What to do while you wait. So what should you actually do during seasons of waiting on God? First, stop assuming delay means denial. Second, keep moving forward even when progress feels invisible. Third, protect your mindset, because hopeless thoughts grow fast in silent seasons. And finally, use the waiting season instead of wasting it. Learn, grow, heal, strengthen your faith, build discipline, develop emotionally and spiritually, because one day the doors will open, and when they do, you'll realize the waiting season was never empty. It was preparation all along. Remember the question from the beginning? Why would God make you wait? Because some blessings require preparation deeper than you can currently see. And sometimes the greatest miracle isn't the blessing itself. It's the person you become while waiting for it. If this video helped you understand God's timing in a new way, then you'll definitely want to watch the next video where we break down the signs God is quietly preparing you for a major breakthrough. And if you haven't already, subscribe and stick around, because sometimes the message you need most arrives right on time.